doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Other than the win and Frank's shot, what did you enjoy the most about that whole experience playing on that Madison Square Garden against the #1 team?
I think the thing I enjoyed most was just thinking back to being a kid, you know, watching games like that on TV and finally having my opportunity to be a part of one, such a great game like that.
Would you have been rooting for or against Duke when you were a kid?
Definitely would have been rooting against Duke.
Josh, for you, how much is your game predicated on your emotions? I mean, you're a high emotion guy. Is that a big part of your game and who you are?
Definitely, I think so. Kind of helps and hurts my games at times, as you guys seen the other night. But Coach Self will tell you himself, he loves when I'm fired up. You know, he thinks I'm a better player.
Does that make you play more aggressive when you feel like maybe you were whistled for something than a foul?
Yeah, definitely makes me play a little bit more aggressive. But you know, I gotta kind of be a little bit more smart, definitely with fouls and things like that to keep me in the game.
Siena may not have the brand name like an Indiana or Duke. How does your team avoid having an emotional letdown tomorrow?
We all just know that, you know, it's college basketball. You know, anybody can lose at any time, any day, and we're going to treat it just like a Duke or an Indiana game and come out and just try to play really hard and tough and get the win.
Coach talked a little about, you know, that opening 2 games for you to your career being 2 top 10 type teams, and maybe he wished you had a little easier tune-up to get some of that rust out and kind of go through it. Do you think that would have helped you get into this a little easier, or?
I definitely think it would have helped me a little bit, but you know, we lost one and won one, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't really think those 2 games were, you know, that important to our season. You know, we could still be a national championship team. We could still win the Big 12. So I think it really just helped us get a little bit more prepared for, you know, what we're getting ready to do this year.
How comfortable do you feel now? I mean, did the high profile, the high pressure type of games, did that help you kind of settle in?
Definitely helped me a lot. You know, in my mind, I know it gets a little bit easier from here on, but you know, still just gonna try to play to the best of my abilities.
And Josh, has Coach talked about what he liked about your defense, your guys' defense in the second half?
He said we definitely rebounded the ball a lot better than we have the past couple weeks. We definitely boxed out defenders. On-ball defense has kind of been a little bit of a struggle for us, definitely with the way referees have been calling the games a little lately. With the hand checking and things, we got to try to keep our guys out of foul trouble and stay on our feet, move our feet.
And knowing that, what do you think the potential is for this group when you have Frank and Devontae and then you and Gerald and even Speed being able to kind of slide and stay in front of guys?
I think the really special thing about us is that, you know, we're a pretty good team offensively, but I think we got some really, really good defenders, and I think that's going to be the key to our team this year is defense. I think we can be a really great team defensively.
Josh, how about Udoka? Can you just talk about what you see in him and your thoughts on that steal and breakaway?
The steal was definitely scary. Biting my fingernails watching that play, but you know, he got the 2 points. You know, he had a great game, had 12 rebounds, I think. But his potential is just through the roof, and you know, once we get him remembering plays and just moving his feet a little bit faster, he's gonna be a monster.
Josh, in that second half against Duke, what was it that kind of finally got you into the comfort zone where you felt like maybe you were just playing instead of thinking?
Just seeing a couple shots go in definitely helped my confidence go up a little more, and I think Coach Self did a really great job of play calls that night, just putting me in positions where I was comfortable to score and where I had a couple mixed matches and defenders on me who probably shouldn't have been guarding me that possession.
You mentioned thinking about, you know, when you were a kid and getting to that moment. Carmelo was there, John Wall was there, Phil Jackson was there, I'm sure some other guys were there. Are you aware of that when you're there?
Yeah, I was definitely aware of that.
What was that feeling like, knowing those guys are watching you?
It was a good feeling, you know. Definitely knew, we talked about it before the game, we definitely knew there were going to be a couple famous people in the crowd, and Coach Self told us we couldn't get starstruck or, you know, try to pay attention to who was on the sideline too much because we still have a game to play. But, you know, I think we did a pretty good job of it. But it was definitely cool to see those guys there.
Any interaction with any of them?
No.
All right, Josh.
All right. Thank you.
Wait.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.